What we're going to focus on this evening, unless you give us other questions, is this whole thing about giving visual cues, giving verbal information, and only then doing things physically. So it's called visual cues, verbal information, making sure those match, and then add touch if it's needed. And sometimes the touch you need to be doing is to yourself, not to the other person, so that they can see what you're doing. And until they say, I'm good with you touching me, you want to keep your hands to yourself, because what can happen when somebody's living with dementia, what you view as a helpful touch, they may view as an intrusive or scary touch or a surprise. And often that happens because people don't realize how much your visual field sort of gets limited because your brain is working so hard to take in data. And as it works really, really hard, one of the things that happens is I can actually take in less and less data at a time. And so typically by the time we're getting really involved in people's lives and trying to provide support and help and care and trying to get them to understand what we're trying to get them to do and why, and we're using way too many words and way too few visual cues. And when we give visual cues, we often don't realize we're out of the range that the person can pick up on. So the best way to think about it is, this is what happens if you're just simply stressed out as a human being, or if you're living with early stage state Alzheimer's, or Lewy body, or frontal temporal. In other words, some form of dementia. Now, it doesn't mean that you can't see. It means that you don't notice things out on the periphery. In the middle of the condition, about the time I'm starting to really struggle with many, many things, I now have the limitation of what's called binocular vision. So I'm taking in about what I can take in at arm's length if my hands are about 18 inches apart. Before it was 36, now it's 18. That means when I'm looking out there, I miss a lot down here, up here, around here, and I most certainly miss a lot right here.
Somebody's asking, how do you know the early signs in that space where you often would have the...
How do you notice that somebody's gone from this to this? Yeah, well, one of the things you might notice is when I'm doing something like right here and Katie walks up, this is Katie, by the way. Katie walks up and just says something.
Hey, Teepa.
Oh, geez. It startles me because my brain before, when Katie walked up here, I would have noticed her out my periphery. So what you're seeing is I startle when I shouldn't startle. Now, even worse, let's say Katie comes up and touches me on the shoulder.
Teepa!
Oh, jeez. Now, that's a reaction you might have if you were in a dark alley and somebody came up and grabbed you around the throat, but not classically for somebody coming up in a room and just saying, hey, Teepa, when actually you knew Katie was there from before. I mean, it's not like she just suddenly appeared. She may have even said, hey, Teepa, on the way in, but I didn't pick up on the data because I was really focused on this area. So we want to pick up on cues that people are changing, and it's often that they seem to behave a little differently, or they don't notice things. One of the things they might not notice is they might trip on the bottom step going up. They might have issues with bumping their heads on things when they're getting in the car or picking up something and they crack their head because they're missing the upper range of visual field. And that's early. As a matter of fact, if anybody's ever been real tired, really distracted, really stressed out, really trying to hurry, you might have done that getting things into or out of the back of the car, out from under a table. I'm just saying. Not that that means you have dementia. It's the pattern that makes it more likely that there's something changing in your brain and it's not a one-off that you shouldn't worry about. Okay? So when Katie does this kind of thing, like she comes up and she's starting to know, oh, geez, what we want to do is stop doing it because it really annoys the crap and it also sets up an emotional memory. Now, the part of my brain that holds on to the emotional memory isn't as damaged as the part that we're talking about. So what ends up happening is I don't like Katie so much. I don't quite trust her. She's always doing things to irritate me. And then Katie gets nervous and starts going, teepa, 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 multiple times, which is, don't use that voice. So what Katie's going to do is she's actually going to walk past me and turn around and present herself. Because what happened, let me go ahead and do my hands like this. Katie, come on back. What's important for us to notice is that when I was like this and I wasn't noticing, when Katie walked past, I saw her moving away from me, and I had plenty of time to go, oh, somebody's moving. Oh, it's Katie. And by the time she turned, my brain went, oh, she wants me for something. But I felt perfectly safe because I saw her moving there. And then as she turned, it was like click. And notice she's right in the middle of my visual field. She didn't say or do anything yet because first, visual cues. So now she's there.
Hey, Teepa.
Hey,
It's Katie.
well, of course it is. What are you up to?
Well, I was looking for
Now,
you.
she gave me a couple more cues. She was out there, and while she was out there, and she is approximately 6 feet away from me, double arm's length. So that what that means is there's no way she can touch me from here, but she can keep me focused on her, and I feel safe. And then she says,
Hey, Teepa.
hey, now that hand comes up near the face because Katie does not know in this moment, is my visual field this, or maybe this, or even that. If it is this, and we're here, you would not be able to see my hand out here, I don't think.
Mm-mm.
No, can you see it? No. And basically that's how far away from the camera I am right now. So what I want to do, and what Katie's doing, is taking that step back and making sure that the hand and the face appear in the same visual field. So that she's showing me her face, but she's also showing me her hand. And she's turned her body a little bit so she's not blocking anything. And I went, oh, hey, back. And then she went into what is another strong visual cue. And it's a cue for interaction, and it's a handshake. And I went, well, hey.
Hey.
Now, if I want to let go, Katie can let go and turn herself a little sideways because we can touch each other, but I'm watching her, I'm paying attention. What I've actually done is turn my head to pay attention. So I keep her in my field because I think she's going to say something I need to pay attention to, which was really different than coming up from behind, scaring me, and then expecting me to want to interact with her. So visual, verbal, and she's done a touch already. We did this, and then notice that she's taken both her hands and she's holding on to them, which allows me to know she's not touching me because she's holding on to herself, which makes me a little more comfortable if I don't know for sure what she's going to be up to next. So let's see what she does next. If she decides to give me a visual cue, a verbal cue, what's she going to do?
Teepa, love your earrings.
Oh,
Really
yeah.
pretty.
Oh, yeah. Are they the heart ones?
Yeah, pink hearts.
Okay. So let's think for a second. Why did I touch my earrings? Because Katie touched hers. So she went, ooh, Teepa, which meant she's talking to me. Then she touched the earrings, and then she said, love your earrings, and she pointed. But what she actually did is showed me that what she was talking about were these things right here. Not love your glasses. So what we're doing is ooh, I love that, necklace. So the word actually comes slightly after the visual initiation of the cue because I'm driving the brain with visual data, then verbal data, matching the two, giving the physical. And then if she goes, my what?
Your earrings.
Earrings.
Earrings, yeah. Very
Oh, yeah,
pretty.
those are nice.
Oh, you like those?
Now, what she just learned is really important. I got the idea of the earrings, but I didn't translate it to be me and my earrings. And so what Katie has to be ready for is me touching her. Because the visual cue, the verbal cue, I didn't, even though they should be matched, they weren't matching. So this gives her a lot of good information about my abilities to take data and make use of it. And what just happened there is perfectly what I would expect to have happen if somebody is not able to interpret cues like that. So I got it, but I didn't get it like you want me to get it. I got it. And Katie now knows when she does that, oh yeah, those are real pretty. That I got the idea of the earrings, but I have no idea that she's talking about my earrings, which also means I'm not really tuned into my earrings, which should.
What kind of problems does that lead to?
Yeah. So if Kate,
some
of the common things is Katie might say, let's go ahead and let's take your pants off. And I go, oh, okay. And then she starts to do it, and I'm shocked because what? Because she motions at her pants, and I might say, I'm not going to take your pants off, and you're like, I wasn't talking about your pants. So there's a lot of things that are sort of semi-funny, but they're also semi-frustrating. Because if I'm not picking up on cues, like you say some other thing you want me to do, go ahead, Katie.
Teepa, it's time for lunch. Come on, let's go.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, great. Come on.
Yeah. So we're going to eat?
We're going to eat. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be terrific.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, come on.
Where are we going?
We're going to eat.
Well, now, wait a minute. It's like, ugh. She said we were going to do lunch, but now eating lunch, what does it mean for you, Katie, if we're in here and we're going to eat lunch?
We have to go somewhere else to eat.
Oh, so she's giving verbal information that is supposed to mean change location. It means that for Katie. Does it mean that for me? And so no. And so you guys think I can take eat lunch and translate it and leave this room, go over there, sit at the table, get out your utensils because your food is going to come. Even if you get me in there and sit me at a table, I may say, well, what are we doing here? And by the time you go get the food, guess what? I've left because I'm looking for lunch. And you're like, oh, just wait. And the problem is I never got the real data to start with. So if Katie wants to get me to go eat lunch, she might want to bring a prop with her. Like, what's a prop related to eating or drinking that she might want to have? Oh, Katie's thinking on her feet. Here it is. So she's going to do this thing where I'm sitting here.
Teepa?
Hey.
Hi, it's Katie.
Of course it is.
Hi.
That's really pretty.
You like this?
Yeah, I do.
Oh, my necklace. Yeah.
Yeah. So now this is that moment where I think we've had this happen a couple times on a few videos where whatever you think I'm going to notice and what you had for me to notice isn't what I noticed. I noticed whatever I noticed. And your cue there is like, okay, does Teepa know about the prop yet?
No, she does not know about the prop
Does she
yet.
know about something though?
Yeah.
Does she like it?
Yeah, she likes my necklace.
Yeah. So if you come in the next time, you have a couple options now. If you keep this information in your head and you decide to make use of it, what's one thing you now know?
That I'm not going to introduce this till I get closer in.
You know that you've got to sort of limit how you introduce stuff. Do you want to have that on or do you not? What's the advantage of having something that might draw my eye?
Because that's going to draw your attention and we can connect.
Yeah. Why might you not want to have that on?
It's a distraction and you can get in my personal space.
That's called intimate space, Katie. That's
Yes.
more personal.
Yeah.
So one of the things that happens is if something draws my eye at this point in dementia, and it's something that's attractive to me, if it draws my eye, it's very likely to draw my hand if I have the ability to move and use my body. So what happens is I show you what I'm interested in by touching what I'm interested in. So it could be all kinds of stuff that we tend to not think so much about. And yet I may be curious about it and really like it, but it doesn't mean I'm going to hurt you. It doesn't mean I'm trying to invade your intimate space. It doesn't mean I'm being sexual. All it truly means in this moment is I saw something, I liked it, and I decided to explore it with my fingertips. And I can be pretty skillful. I might be able to, oh, isn't that pretty?
Yeah, you like that?
Oh, look, it's really shiny. It's like a butterfly, isn't it?
It is like a butterfly.
That's the back of it. Did you know that? Oh, those fingernails are interesting. You should get them taken care of, though, because they've grown out a little.
They have. You're right. You're
Now,
absolutely
I
right.
will also tell you, this is the time in dementia where, like some other situations in life, I say what I think with absolutely no filter. So I can say something like, that hairstyle is certainly not attractive on you. And it's that's the moment where your brain goes, did she just say what I thought she said? Wow, you've put on some weight, haven't you?
Yes, I have.
You've got to decide.
And I don't like my hairstyle. You are so observant.
Well, it just makes you look like a boy.
Mm.
I mean, it's not ugly. It's good, I guess. Did you color your roots?
Yeah, sure.
Now, Katie's being an incredible good sport about this whole thing because she gets it. But this is where, if you're out with me in a public space, this could be that moment where you go, oh my God. And so the person that's being Katie is not being so generous and so smiling and like understanding dementia. Unfortunately, that person thinks I'm being rude and you're embarrassed. So this is the moment where you got to decide what you're going to do, because I'm doing what I'm doing and I'm not doing it on purpose. This is not a thoughtful act on my part. This is simply my brain being automatic, and I'm not thinking about what's coming out of my mouth. And if I see it and I don't like it, I say it. If I see it and I like it, I might say it. Just like I was touching it. This might not be a touching thing, it's a saying thing. But it's the same principle.
And can you talk a little bit, Katie, about what you came in for?
I came in because I was going to get her to go to lunch. So my prop was a cup of something to drink as a visual cue, and that got completely lost. So oops, that didn't work. Plan B.
Yeah. So this is this tricky thing. So if Katie gets all offended about what I'm saying, then she doesn't get anywhere with her effort to get me to go somewhere to eat something. So, with all that distraction where I was really busy with stuff, commenting on her, what does that tell you I really do focus on? If I talk about her hair and her color and her fingernails and her necklace, what kind of things am I picking up on? So that's really important. What kind of things catch my eye, catch my attention? Because you want to figure out what draws me. And is it Katie or is it stuff about Katie that I can notice?
And a couple of people are asking about, is this why people say racist things or things they never would have said before?
Absolutely. Not only am I missing some of my vocabulary words, which would be a substitution that I might have used. I might have said, oh, now that's a person of color, isn't it? And instead, I've got these other words that I would never have used, but I knew them. And that's the tricky part about the left part of the brain with vocabulary, the right part of the brain with forbidden words and automatic kind of rhythm stuff. And it also means if I've never been exposed to certain groups and those groups make me uncomfortable or nervous, then I might really escalate pretty quickly, because then my primitive brain feels threatened and all of a sudden I'm yelling things rather than simply whispering. And I think I'm saying it softly, look at her, look at her. And it's like, oh my heavens, Teepa. But if you try to control that, you're more likely to make it worse rather than better. And that's the tricky thing. So what do you think we should, let's go. We've got so many questions sort of in the middle here. Let's go with what Katie was doing with my data, which is when I was saying, your hair looks crappy, your nails are grown out, that's a really pretty butterfly, but you've put on weight, whatever the comment is. One of the ones for people who are more heavy set might be, are you pregnant? I mean, there are these comments that people make, and then, oh my God, you're so skinny, you can't do anything. I don't trust you to help me. You're too little. I would never let a woman help me do something. There are all kinds of things people say in the moment. So in that moment, Katie has to make a decision in her own brain. Whether she's in an okay place and she can handle this, or whether she's really getting defensive. And
Teepa, you are so observant. You really have an eye for detail.
Well, yeah. I mean, I don't mean
Good
to be
for you.
ugly about it, but I mean, you've really chunked up.
Yep, I have.
Okay.
It's the chocolate.
Oh, well, you should cut back.
Yeah, I will. I will.
That's what people should do when they're putting on too much weight. Cut back.
Absolutely. Yeah. Hey, Teepa.
Yeah.
I could use your help.
Use my help.
Yeah.
Okay. To cut back on chocolate?
Something else.
Oh. Well, I mean, I could eat the chocolate for you. Now, don't be surprised if I come up with some fairly humorous things, because sometimes when my brain does these little funky things, it also finds little funny spots. Now, I may think that's funnier than you think it is, and so I laugh because that's sort of, I got pleasure from finding something funny. I thought it was funnier than most people think it's funny. Now, that's another moment where you go, oh my God, she's so loud. Teapout. Shh, it's not that funny. Especially when it's the same thing I make jokes about over and over and over. But what Katie did, she smiled. She said, yeah, I bet you could help me with my chocolate. Yeah. But now, if she wants to get me moving,
Is the key to sit there and keep talking, Katie? What is your goal?
No, my goal is to get her up, so I'm going to get her up.
And
Deepa,
yeah,
I need your help. Come with me?
come with you.
Come with me.
Well, what is it you want me to go do?
I'll show you.
Okay, now Katie is social. She loves being social. So she's going to, if she's not careful, she's going to stay here. And now instead of sitting, what are we going to, aren't we,
Stand.
Katie? We're going to stand and talk, because Katie cued me that we're standing up, and she turned and she made eye contact with me again. And I'm ready to start again. And Katie, this is tricky because Katie's super skilled, but in this moment, I tricked her. My brain tricked her because I got her up and I made she made eye contact back. So this is that moment where you might actually turn away from me and say, come on, and just start moving.
Come on.
Oh, we're going, because now the visual cue is we're going somewhere instead of we're going to stand here and we're going to talk. So where are we going? But she has to keep moving. Because if she turns around and says, Katie, what would be the appropriate pack thing to say if I said, where are we going? You're
wanting to know where we're going.
Yeah, so if she turns around and says that, guess what I've done? Stop action. Because why might I do that? What are a couple reasons you think I might do that?
Because you're not sure where we're going.
I'm not sure where we're going. And although I like her, I don't know whether she's going to take me someplace that's okay or not, because people take me to weird places like bathrooms that expect me to take my clothes off, or they take me to, spaces where I have to spend a day where I didn't plan to spend a day. They take me to other people because they're done with me and they want me to go spend time with somebody else.
And I'm asking for your help, and you don't
and
know
you're
what I
asking
need
for my help, and I'm not sure whether I'll be able to do it or not. So, this idea of why I might want to pause the interaction and have more of this, even though I'm not good at it, it's better that than the unknown. And so sometimes I'll show you. Yeah. Okay, well, fine. Oh, look here. Now, this is also, you want to know your path of travel and what's along the way, because what can happen is I could get distracted along the way, because if I have this kind of vision, then it's easy for my brain to be curious about so many possibilities. So it's a situation where this is the thing where you might hand me a cup, because now I have something right here that my vision can pay attention to. Are we getting something to drink?
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go.
Well, let's get going.
Let's go.
Now, what Katie also did here is she has my hand in hand under hand, which is a cue to help me keep moving along. Now, if I try to pull away, she lets go. But if I don't try to pull away, then that's a way to keep me moving. And she can draw my eyes to her as we travel. And there's less likelihood, because she's also put something in my other hand, that I could pay attention to. So there's lots of ways to use these visual cues, verbal prompts, and physical assist. But the tricky part for most people is they try verbal. If the verbal doesn't work, then we try physical. And what we don't always make sure we've done is make sure the visual is the very first thing that we do. So we thought we'd try out a few of these kind of ideas. So let's say we have somebody who's visiting and they don't know much about dementia. Okay. Now, what did you notice that just happened in this chair? because I was busy looking over here and doing this. Anybody notice that I had to bring my foot around and I realized it was a chair and I just stepped around it? And I got my balance back and, it was all good and fine. The problem when I have dementia is if I'm doing this, I may not have the skill to recover from a loss of my ability to get my foot clearly under me because I caught it. Now, Katie, true helper fashion, is going to see the start of my, oh no. And this is where I caught my heel. I start to do this. She then comes in. Okay, can I see Katie? No, and Katie's going to try to grab me real quick, isn't she? And then I'm going to, because it came out of nowhere, and I think she's trying to hurt me. And that is one of those incidents that people talk about. So one of the things that's really hard to remember is, Teepa! In that moment, and swinging around. Those are not automatic brain functions. Those are thought functions. And it means this part has to override emergency reaction. And it takes many, many years of working on this. And no matter how hard you work, guess what? You may grab and they may hit. And that's not because they're aggressive. It's because I made a mistake and you made a mistake. We both made a mistake. I missed my cue that there was a chair right here that was sticking out. And that's how it all started. Now, does that mean I should be documented as being aggressive? No, it should be that I have problems when the environment surprises me and I'm not real good at figuring out balance stuff. So what would be a great idea? Put me in a Tai Chi class. Maybe start working on ways that I can shift my balance. Let's do some work in forward and back, maybe working on dancing with a partner so that we get me a little more able to recover from this rather than be tripped up by things and react. It's just a different way of looking at things that we have at PAC, frankly. All right. So Katie's going to be a visitor that doesn't know anything much and that she doesn't hardly know me. She knows my name is Teepa. She knows I'm from somewhere and I'm living here. She knows that I have dementia, let's say. And she wants to be a friendly visitor. Everybody wants people to be friendly, so she's going to be friendly. Okay, here we go.
Hi. My name's Katie. Hi.
Hi.
Hi. Wow. Where are you from? What's your name?
I'm Teepa.
Teepa.
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of an odd name.
Uh-huh.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Why are you here?
Well, I'm here to be your friend.
How many of you out there are going, ooh, yuck?
Yeah, you're getting a few. Oh my.
Now, this is this really friendly, really intense person who's really nervous and really wants to do a good job. May have been sent by a faith community, may have been sent by a family member, may have been like from an agency, maybe be a companion. Maybe she's worked with people who were lovely people before, but she hadn't worked with me. So what she isn't doing is figuring out me before she gets into her pattern of really risky behavior.
She could seriously get slapped. Is what
Yep. Slapped, pinched, a lot
Spit
of
on.
possibilities. Spit on, yeah. And I could get in a lot of trouble. And of course, Katie will not be identified as the problem because unless you're there watching it, what Katie reports out is what gets put in the report because
She was so mean and nasty to me, and I was just trying to be friendly.
I know. So now she's on the do not visit list from the faith community, from the whatever. And the next person goes in going, be careful, she'll hit you. And so now I've got a reputation. So let's watch Katie come in the other way.
Knock, knock. Hi,
Hey,
I'm Katie. And
Katie.
you're?
I'm here. How are you, Katie?
Hi, I'm
Katie?
Katie.
Do I know you?
We're just meeting.
Just meeting.
Just meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I noticed it said Teepa.
Yeah, that's my name. I'm Teepa Snow.
Teepa Snow.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
What's your name?
Katie.
Oh, Katie.
My name is Katie.
Katie. Oh, that's a pretty name. Do you know there's a song about Katie?
I do.
Yeah.
Katie.
Yeah, that's the one. Beautiful Katie, you're the only girl that I adore. Whenever the moon shines over the cacao shed, I'll be waiting at the kitchen door. You know who taught me that one?
Who taught you?
My
that?
mom.
Your mom taught
Did your
you
mom
that?
teach you that one?
Actually, it was my dad.
Oh, but that's how you got your name.
Well, it was one of the ways they taught me what my name was.
Now, Katie, in that moment, she was doing super well. And then, how do I answer this question? And we have tells, and they're often visual tells, and they're called tells in poker, which means Katie's eyes went, how do I answer her? That's not true. No, no, that wasn't why I'm called Katie.
I could have just said yes.
She could have just said yes. But her brain was like, well, that's not true. And Katie doesn't like to lie. And this is where you guys will get yourselves in trouble because, you know, that's a good reason why people get called Katie, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, you can come up with something that isn't a lie, but you have to watch yourself when you go, sure, or because your eyes go.
Absolutely.
So when eyes go like this or like that, it often signals the person is truly looking for information and that tells the other person you don't know something. And so you got to watch your eyeballs because people living with dementia aren't stupid. They live with dementia. And so they start to wonder what you're doing. Are you cheating? Are you lying? Are you telling me something that isn't true? Now, she was doing super up to then. She really was. On the way in, she went knock, knock, which is, do I have permission to come in? She waited until my eyes found her. And then she went, hey. And she, I think, said Teepa. She used my name, but when I got in, she said she was Katie. And I said, whatever I said. It was pretty clear then, right after that, what's your name? Mm-hmm. So I got it, and then I dropped it. So the other reason that we do this little intro thing is to find out what do people take in, but then what can they hold on to versus what went through their fingers. So if after 2 or 3 back and forths, we're back to where we started, it's like, wow, okay, so data doesn't last very long.
And especially, can you talk a little bit about when you ask the same question over and over and what happens to Katie's voice? Because there's somebody saying, is it because I'm stupid is what the dad keeps asking.
Yeah. So so we'll just start with, so what's your name?
My name is Katie.
Oh, Katie.
Katie.
Well, that's a pretty, do you know a song about?
A song?
Now, notice how Katie is sounding exactly like she did the first time. People who don't receive a lot of training or are getting fatigued or tired or are getting, this is my sister, oh my gosh, she's not recognizing all that. So Katie's going to do a more classic reaction. So what's your name?
I told you already. I'm Katie.
Oh, Katie.
Yeah.
Yeah. So... Katie, do you know a song about?
Yeah.
Well, why are you being so mean?
Yeah, well, we already sang it once.
Well, do you think I'm stupid?
No, I don't think you're stupid. It's just
okay. Now, that tone of voice. Now, I don't think you're stupid, but so there's that.
So what do you do in those situations?
Yeah.
How do you fix it? Because we're all going to make mistakes.
We're all going to make mistakes. And so do you think I'm stupid?
Oh, Teepa, I'm so sorry.
Well, you are sorry. This whole thing is sorry. People think I'm stupid. I'm not.
I'm so sorry you feel that way. I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have made you feel that way.
You absolutely should not, because I'm not dumb, you know.
You are not dumb.
Do you think I'm dumb?
No, Teepa, no. I'm so sorry.
You are. Now, at this point, Katie, what do you know? And this is hard, but what did I do with my body and my eyes and everything else? What visual cue did I give you?
You disengaged with me. You are
Yep.
mad.
Do I want to be with you right now?
Nope.
Did you apologize?
I did.
Have I accepted your apology, actually?
No.
No. So this is the thing we have to remember about apologies. Apologies are what you make, but it doesn't mean I accept it in that moment. Now, if I had said, well, it's all right, but I wish you'd quit, that's a very different response. And you know what? You got to respect my response. And when I said, what's an option Katie has?
Yeah.
Walk away right now and just say, I am so sorry.
I'm so sorry, Teepa.
Well, you are sorry. The whole situation is sorry. People
so
think I'm
sorry.
Yeah, get on out. Because in that moment, what you need to recognize is staying when I've said I don't want you in that moment is not going to improve anything. And I am sorry that the relationship sometimes gets strained, and it is a mistake that we've made. You can say you're sorry. If I don't pick it up and go okay with it, then you're just going to have to leave it for a little bit. And when you come in, you want to go, not. Because what can happen is I don't remember it all because I remember the apology and all of a sudden it's gone. Or I could say, what are you doing back here? In which case you may want to have something that you're going to offer me. You might just want to have that map.
Oh, okay.
Because if you come to me with a question, with a visual cue, does it mean you think I'm stupid?
No.
No. Evidently you think I have some ability or you wouldn't be doing this. And you might even want to grab 2 maps because I may not be excited about you touching mine. Now that's a visual cue, 2 visual cues. She has a map, I have a map. Because if I'm somebody who likes to be in control of stuff and she starts reaching over and touching my things, it may signal an invasion of my space, of my stuff, and I may get really protective and territorial, mostly because I'm feeling defensive. So before we go on this, I want to go back to the other with the I'm sorry, because Katie did a nice I'm sorry, but one of the things she might want to emphasize is when I said, do you think I'm an idiot? Do you think I'm stupid? Absolutely not. So one of the things we might want to think about, so Katie, come sit. When I say, do you think I'm stupid? Do I care about how you feel about me, or have I asked you what you think about me? Which one?
You're asking me what I think about you.
Yeah. And so this is where sometimes we go with an apology when what I need is you to let me know that you do not think I am stupid, because I didn't ask you for an apology. I asked if you thought I was stupid. You think I'm an idiot. And so when you say absolutely not, and you make eye contact when you say it, it affirms that you do not think I am an idiot. And then you can say, I am so sorry if it came across any other way. Well, you treat me like I'm a child. I have absolutely no right to do that.
Yeah.
So this is this tricky thing. And I'm giving it to you in 2 different ways, because sometimes we think people are more emotional when in fact what they're feeling is lack of competence, and they don't like being incompetent. And so it's more important to them that they be seen as competent than that you feel that you apologize and you're sad. I don't care if you're sad or not. And do you think I'm an idiot? Requires an answer of, do you think I'm an idiot? I really am. I mean, honestly, I'm wondering, do you think that about me? Because I am so super smart. I've always been smart.
And not everybody's aware that they have. So reminding someone or telling someone they have Alzheimer's or dementia in that moment is really going to just make matters worse.
It's not going to work, because in that moment, but you have dementia, is not the answer. Because what does that mean? It means even though I'm supposed to be smart, this thing I'm living with, which I may or may not understand, is the thing that's making me be stupid, right? It's like, no, don't bring it up at all. You need to be absolutely not, because that is the affirmation I'm looking for. And you better make eye contact when you say it. This is one of those times for cultures that look away from elders to signify respect. In this moment, when I said, do you think I'm an idiot? It does require eye contact to believe that you are not just making crap up at this point. So this is where you're going to say,
Go ahead.
do you think I'm an idiot?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I am so sorry if I made you feel that way.
Well, yeah, you did, because you said that's not what I said, and I know what I said. I never said any of that.
I had no right to make you feel that way.
Well, I appreciate you owning up to it, because that's the truth of it.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, well, you need to learn the truth is the truth.
I need to learn the truth is the truth.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So if I ask you something, then you tell me.
I will
You don't
tell
get
you.
an attitude.
Absolutely not. I'm so sorry.
Well, it's okay, but you need to address it.
Okay.
This is how patriarchal situations get out of control.
This is how these situations get out of control.
So, and then you notice I come up with some kind of language where your brain goes, what the hell did you just say? And what I tried to do is pull out a really smart word. Why do I want to pull out a really smart word in this moment?
Because you thought that I thought you were stupid. So you're going to prove me wrong.
Yeah. And so patriarchal.
Patriarchal.
But patriarchal is not actually a real word, huh?
Nope.
But my brain lied to me and told me it was right then. And it told me that it was the word I was looking for, which is patriarchal, or who knows what word actually I was looking for. I was looking for one and I thought I found it. My brain tricked me. So in that moment, do not crack a smile. And this can be really hard sometimes. So I, at one point, had somebody who was really upset, and he said, do you think, I'm going to tell you something. You children these days, you're so impotent. And what the man meant was the children were impudent, but they were impotent. And it was like, what? And there was this giggle from the back row, and it was like, ooh, do not giggle at this man, because he was a university professor, PhD plus MD, and the problem was, in that moment, his brain tricked him. So it's a hard place to imagine yourself, but people get there, and it feels really bad to people to think you're stupid. Okay? So Katie did a much better job that time. Good job, Katie. Give yourself a high five.
Thank you.
Now, does that mean that you will make mistakes and then you can do better?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's called practice. You know, because this kind of thing doesn't always come naturally to people. Emotionally, people who are emotional and connected, and they like to be connected, tend to interact from where they come from. People who are intellectual and introvert, sort of like keep your distance, they may come from a thinking place versus a feeling place. And we've got to find, how do you support me if I'm the one that needs it? And then guess what Katie's going to need? She'll need support. And she'll need the kind of support she needs. And so people should be supporting Katie the way Katie needs to be supported. This is the tricky part.
Can you do really quickly, if you are aware that you have brain change, and how Katie does that differently?
Yeah. So I am such an idiot. I already said it? Oh my God. So I've already said that. Did I say it already?
You're wondering?
Yeah, the Katie song. I already said it before. Oh my God, I am such an idiot. I feel so stupid. Why am I so friggin' stupid? What is the matter with me?
Teapot.
What?
Teapot. Let's sing the Katie song. Come on.
No, I don't want to say. Okay, now. Yeah, Katie, she's got her hand on my knee. I haven't given her permission. She's, oh, poor Tiba. It's like, I'm sad, but I'm sad because when Katie said we already did that, my brain went, oh shit, we did. I am so stupid. Oh my God, I can't hold on to a single friggin' thing. And in that moment, my brain is very aware of my change. And it only happens, I mean, it may happen just like that, but when it happens, it's like, oh my God, I'm such an idiot. I feel so stupid. And if Katie goes, it's okay, let's just sing the song. What part did you not hear? I just got devastated with the awareness that, oh my God, I can't hold on to a single friggin' thought. There's something really wrong with my brain. So, Katie, what are you thinking about this time?
I'm thinking that I need to empathize with you and say, this is really hard, Teepa.
Oh, okay. So Katie's going to try something a little different here. Oh my God, I can't believe. I mean, we already did I am such an idiot. I am so stupid.
Oh, Teepa, your brain?
Yeah.
Yeah, your brain, things are changing. This is
Yeah, I'm an
really
idiot.
hard.
This
is really hard.
Yeah, it's hard because I didn't remember I did it. I did it though.
But you didn't remember.
I know, but I should. I'm not stupid, am I?
You are, Teepa, absolutely not. You are not stupid.
But why can't I remember stuff? Is it the thing that I've got, the dementia?
Your brain is changing, Teepa.
Well, I hate this shit.
Yeah, I hate it for you. This is horrible. Yeah.
I don't like feeling. Now, remember, this all happened because Katie had her moment of she got tired of singing Katie. Not because she didn't want to, but her brain just fritzed on her. And the reality is we're going to make mistakes. I'm going to make mistakes. You're going to make mistakes. It's just going to happen because this thing constantly is morphing. And it is hard.
I'm sorry, Teepa. I'm sorry that what we did made you feel that way.
Well, I mean, I don't like being stupid. I don't understand. Why can't I hold on to stuff like that? I've never had that much trouble holding on that you say I did and I didn't even remember.
Things are changing.
Well, I don't like it. I don't want it to change.
Yeah. And it's hard. Yeah. I don't like it either. I hate it for you.
So now, at this moment, do you think continuing to sit here with nothing, because the reason we kept going back to the Katie, did Katie bring anything with her for the visit? No, because people don't train people to bring props with them. They just say, go visit. And so you try it. And you know, sometimes it works. But often, after a few back and forths, your brain is like, oh, crap, what am I going to spend the next 15 minutes saying? I don't know what to do. She doesn't know what to do. So this is where bringing something along, a few things along with you, visual props can make a big difference. That's a United States map.
It is. It's a map of the USA.
Yeah, sure enough is. Map of the United States of America.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is the east,
That's
and
the east.
this is this says Pacific Ocean over here. That's Pacific.
Yep.
Now, notice when I see words, I might be able to read words. So reading words is different than finding vocabulary that I need to speak when I have to find it in the file cabinets in my hippocampal region. So when I see the word Pacific Ocean, I might have crystallized knowledge. So this will be California, and then Washington State and Oregon. And I might not actually be reading this. This might actually be stored in long-term memory. And that's tricky because I may have knowledge of this and have absolutely no memory that I lived in Washington State, that I have visited California, that we met each other in Michigan. I may have no ability to get to my personal memories, or I might, but they might be wrong.
Similar when people bring in pictures to go over.
I may not know who those people are, but they look like they're having a good time. Or I might think it's my son rather than us when we were at a wedding or whatever it is.
So she can give you positive energy by asking you for help to make you the smartest person here.
Yep. And so that's there. So
Yeah. And I'm thinking it's California.
Well, yeah, that's sort of like right here, but mine's green.
Yes, that one's green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this has stuff on it this doesn't have.
Right. Good noticing.
Yeah, that says, what's that say right there? San
Francisco.
That's right. These don't have any of those on them.
They
but
don't.
This does. And there's, okay, if San Francisco's there, then down here somewhere is San Diego, right?
Absolutely.
It's down here, but in Los Angeles is in between.
Boy, you know your geography.
Well, I've always been good at geography.
I haven't.
Oh. Well, you know, some people are not good. This is Hawaii.
It is Hawaii.
There's islands. There's
are
like
islands.
5 of them, I think.
5?
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's the big island. And so notice again how Katie's, what are we focusing on here? Look at Katie's eyes, look at my eyes, look at my, so I'll reach over and touch her stuff. Has she touched my stuff? Nope. If I take some of her stuff, does she say, oh, well, that one goes here, and does she mess around with me right now? No, because the thing that I've got, this one is, I don't know them all, but there's like big ones, and then there's the one, the Honolulu. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Okay.
And that's Maui. That's the shortest one, except Oahu. I don't remember. Is Oahu where Hawaii is?
Honolulu? It says
Yeah, that's the
Honolulu.
town.
Yeah. That's the town, yeah.
So what we have here is a way for me and now we can spend a lot of time together. And I'm not going to be upset. Katie has something to do. Katie's not feeling so stressed out. There may be a little stressed, but not terrible, which is real different than how we were doing with not having anything to look at. And if this isn't the thing that we can do, then we want other things to do. And we really need to keep in mind, as my dementia shifts, you may need to come up with some different things for me to do, depending on what we got going on. So Katie has something else here. Now, this is where we may have to go to a tabletop, because this kind of thing that we're doing here, we might be able to do in chairs without, but I might need a work surface. And so Katie has that, and she says, listen, could you come help me? And I was like, well, sure. And then she motions to the table, and I'm willing to move over to the table to go do something. So we want to respond to their abilities and notice the inabilities, and where with the right support, they become okay. But that doesn't work without Katie being really tuned in to how I'm doing and how it's going for both of us. So I get this in my hand, and she's ready to leave. And she brought it. This is where we could make a mistake and say something like, so Teepa, could I have my mat back? I mean, and it's just a real simple comment.
No,
that
you guys go ahead and play that.
yeah, okay.
Oh, the what not to do?
Yeah.
Well, Teepa, it's time for me to get going.
Okay.
Okay, I'll take my mat back now.
Oh, no. This one's mine. My dad gave me this one. You got your own.
Oh, but Teepa, I brought this with me.
No, you did not bring this. I've had this for years. Okay, so now what's the good news about Katie's thing that she brought me?
You like it.
I really like it. I've gotten an emotional connection to it. It made me feel
competent,
and I really like that. And it brought up the sense that this has been in my life a long time. And guess who might have taught me all my states? Oh, my dad. Yeah. And so all of a sudden it connected for me. And now Katie's effort to take it away, whatever good you did with the visit, this is mine. So one of the rules about visiting and visual cues and props and objects, never bring something you're not okay not having when you leave. So that means don't bring the original picture. Make a copy and bring a copy of the pictures. Don't bring the original document. Don't bring the original stuff. Really look at what you could bring that's similar or a substitution, because you never know, unless you don't care and you're going to leave it with me. The problem is when I have it for a while, it was important for then, but it may not stay important. And then I might not know how this got in my room. And then I get rid of it. And that's offensive for folks, because I bothered to take it, you brought it, and now it's missing. And it's like, well, this is the world of living with dementia.
Everything is communal property.
Everything is communal property. So And
Okay.
you do want to check when you're throwing things out, because I can also sometimes use scissors and cut things up, which is, oh my. All right, so I have this and you're getting ready to leave.
So, Teepa,
Yeah.
I'm getting ready to go.
Oh, well,
It's
it was good seeing you.
It was such a pleasure visiting
Yeah.
with you.
Well,
Yeah.
this has been a real pleasure. And,
Yeah.
you know, I'm glad we got a chance to talk about my map.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're wanting to hang on to that for a little while?
Well, this is one Dad gave me. I've had it for quite some time.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
Well, it's super special.
It is.
Okay, then.
It is. But, you know, you can come back anytime.
Well, thank you very much.
Well, I
appreciate that.
you. Now, are you coming back sometime?
I'd love to come back and visit.
Yeah, because I'd like to show you more about my map.
Okay. Terrific. We will.
Yeah. Now, what Katie could decide to do.
You might die soon, so
Yeah.
you guys could wrap
Yeah.
up.
So what Katie might do is say, you know what? How about if we put it up on the bulletin board so that you'll know where it is? Because what she'll have done then is get it out of my hands and visually present, but maybe it might still be there when she comes back. All right, everybody. We think we're almost out of battery. And you know what happened last time? We couldn't save the recording. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to tell you, thank you for coming. Thank you for paying attention. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being really curious and attentive people. And we hope to see you again soon on TikTok. Take care, all. See you soon.
Hi, I'm Teepa Snow, and you just found our YouTube channel and watched one of our videos. I'm the owner and founder of Positive Approach to Care. Thanks for watching, and if you liked, if you have a comment about, or you would, please share it with people you know. Oh, and if you haven't yet done it, consider subscribing. We'll let you know when the next new video comes out, and you might want to visit our website, www.teepasnow.com, where you'll find other resources as well. See you there.